pleasure that I'm going to introduce Paul Chapman and ask him to come up and just speak a little bit about some of the things that he's involved with. Paul has been with the Nanaimo Area Land Trust for 11 years, 1 year as the executive director. And those of you from maybe outside the region or those not entirely familiar with the Nanaimo Area Land Trust, they've done a lot of really good things. They've done something in particular that I'm very interested in and I'm really looking to bring back to the mainland, and that's the topic of conservation easements. So conservation easements are a tool by which very important and sensitive land is looked after by the stewardship sector. It's a really important tool. I think we could take advantage of this. The ability to go out and monitor and nurture these sensitive areas is not always in our day-to-day task list with local government. So it's just another example of how we can partner with stewardship groups to actually look after the land. So Paul, if you'd like to come up, give us a few words. Thanks.
Oh, good. Public speaking. Yay. Hello, I'm Paul Chapman. As Richard said, I'm the Executive Director of the Nanaimo Area Land Trust, also known as NOLT. I grew up in Vancouver's North Shore, and if you know the place, you know that it catches a fair bit of rain. As a kid growing up, sometimes it felt like you were living underwater. And I tell you this to illustrate the journey I've been on from then until now, because I'm going to begin today with a prayer through the rain. Feel free to bow your heads or raise your eyes or ignore it altogether. Dear rain, may you fall in abundance but not excess, wet the ground and water the trees, and continue throughout the seasons, preferably at night while I sleep, dear rain. I am the Executive Director of NOLT, as I said, and I am here today to speak on behalf of the Nanaimo Watershed Health Community of Practice. The Community of Practice came together at the end of the 2018 Water Stewardship Symposium, which took place in Nanaimo. The theme was Water Stewardship in a Changing Environment, Collaboration Success Stories, and also had the tagline, The Hard Work of Hope. Near the end of the symposium, Richard improvised a couple of action items, one of which has resulted in today's symposium, and another that called for the applications of the lessons learned at the symposium in our communities. Before folks had filed out of the auditorium, the Parksville Creek streamkeeper Jean-Michel Hansen came over to me with Bernie Hendricks and Nine Evans Lock in tow and hatched the idea of a coalition of folks concerned with watershed health and getting the word out to our community. We set out to do the hard work to become another collaboration success story. The time was right. A civic election was on the horizon, and the energy of the symposium was sparking ideas. We gathered as a group of the like-minded and began to plan. As you know, branding is very important. So we spent some time early on trying to name our initiative, and we tried many combinations of water stewardship buzzwords, and early on settled on the Nanaimo Creekshed Coalition. So we thought about it a bit more and decided that coalition might not be quite the right word for what we wanted to be. And also it's a catchy enough name, but we were worried that we might be mistaken for a jug band or perhaps a Creedence Clearwater Revival tribute act. So we came up with a different one. The Nanaimo Watershed Health Community of... Well, it's a bit longer. The Nanaimo Watershed Health Community of Practice. There, it fits on one screen. My notes say pause for laughter. What are the problems that we sought and seek to address? As you no doubt will know, and you should hear today, how stream stewards operate is often we start at the mouth of the river and work our way upstream, and what you find out is most of your troubles come from upstream. And I mean that literally and figuratively. City crews practice or regional district activities compromise the well-being of 2 of our community watersheds. An example in Departure Creek was the flushing of water mains into the creek, causing erosion and turbidity. And in Wally Creek, an entire reach of the creek was dewatered to achieve a construction goal on just a portion of the creek. We also witnessed riparian variances granted to allow more parking or another feature of this or that development. And we need to know that it's easier to conserve what we have than try and rebuild what we've lost. And we cannot continue to work away at our silos of interest and responsibility and undoing each other's work in a cycle of futility. The actions. You'll remember earlier I mentioned it was an election year, and we focused our actions on informing all the candidates for mayor and council on the importance of healthy, functioning watersheds for all the values they support. Where possible, we asked questions based on the information we shared with the candidates at all candidates' meetings. We corresponded, spoke with, and met with the candidates to go deeper into the subject of watershed stewardship. And after the election, we wrote to the successful candidates and presented to mayor and council. The results. We are building relationships. I'm happy to tell you that 1/3 of Nanaimo Council is registered for this symposium, and I also know that there are many others here from the RDN board. They deserve applause for coming. But we still have work to do. So what's next? We need to build on the connections we have made and forge new connections. We've invited City Council and senior staff to take part in streamkeeper training and to participate in a Rivers Day tour of our watersheds to meet the folks who are doing the stewardship work. We need to come to an understanding as a community not only about the importance of the natural values of a watershed, but also the natural services a healthy watershed provides to a community at higher efficiency and lower maintenance costs than built solutions, especially in the face of climate change. We need to connect policy to practice. We need to step outside of our silos, understand the needs of our stewards, our community, and our city and regional staff, and find ways to support each other while supporting healthy watersheds. When we undertake to do these things, when we connect policy to practice, we build a culture. And that's what we've set out to do. We want to build a culture of land and water stewardship. We have discussed new and lasting initiatives to promote awareness of the values of our watershed. We will take the lessons shared at this symposium of restorative development, of partnerships and innovations, and the energy we give to each other, and bring it back to our community and build the culture of stewardship. We will look at 2020 through a water lens. See what I did there? Through a water lens. So we'll make 2020 all about water. It'll be 20H2O. So in ending, I'd just say enjoy the symposium, take it all in, and take it all back home. And thank you very much for your time.